Hello, welcome back to Mindfulness Monday with Johnny Tiger and
Kitten.
Kitten, all hyper and shit because she's in the background having not just one and a half soda, one and a half because she didn't finish her earlier one.
Yay!
Um, yeah, someone's going to be so hyper all day long. The date is September 25th, 2023, and as I predicted, we did not get around to a video yesterday because we actually were attending an art show at the Vancouver Grant Gallery. You got to check out some interesting artwork.
Wonderful art. Wonderful. Emotionally moving.
Um, so yeah, hopefully in a few days I'll have some photos to share with everybody. So yeah, we were out and about all day long. And after we came home, it's pretty much too tired. After we ate, we decided to call it a night. So last week we talked about newbies, uh, how to be a successful newbie. So today we are going to talk about the other end of that extreme. We are going to give some tips to the veterans, to the seasoned patrons, to the experienced guys, to the oldies, to the old dogs. Yeah,
The professionals.
the professional.
Yeah.
Uh, Tiger concurs because I think, including Tiger, uh, most old professionals knows or have experienced being threatened when a newbie, especially a skilled or accomplished newbie coming to the organization, one of these bright, shiny, rising stars. Everybody loves them, and then you, as the person who's like one of the older ones in the organization, you're like, well, what am I, chopped liver? Like I'm sure we all have experienced that in our lifetime. Uh, you don't even have to be in an organization. You can experience that even in your own family. Like whenever someone have a new baby, and that baby is brought over to meet everybody, some of us will, especially those of us that don't have kids, we're like left on the side, and we're like, well, what am I? It's like some people think that the people that have babies are super important, super cool, and babies are the most precious thing in the world. And those of us that's been, those of us, the aunties and uncles that are single or never had kids, we're left on the sideline, just like feeling like we are not worth anything. Um, so today we're going to talk about this. I'm going to give you some tips for uh, oldies, old dogs, veterans to be able to secure your position a little bit more, a little bit better, secure your position, situation in the group or organization, etc., etc. Now, this primarily apply to workplaces and organization and group dynamic. Probably doesn't apply as much in a family setting, but still, some of these might be very useful to know. So, if you are one such uh, veteran, if you're one such experienced, seasoned professional that is or have felt threatened by the new people coming into your world, new people, new talent uh, coming in, you feel that you're going to be replaced, uh, then hopefully this will help you. I have, as usual, broken it down to a simple four points, 4 points guideline for you guys to be able to digest it easier and hopefully memorize it easier.
Nicely put. Digest. Nicely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shut up, newbie. So, um, the first point to keep in mind is to build respect. Now, some of you might not realize this, but as the older member of the organization, as the old dog, you already have kind of a built in set of respect. You have a bit of built in notoriety. Newbies automatically look at you like, oh my God, that person must think I'm so stupid. They've been here for so long, they know everything. I feel so stupid around them. They probably know how to do everything. So there, you already have that built into it. It comes with just your position, your experience alone, right? Like when I am at the martial arts studio, I don't need to do some fancy high flying kicks or crazy martial art maneuver. uh, Most people will extend to me that respect right off the bat, well, once they know that I have been doing this for 30, 40 years. Because obviously, if I have been doing this for 30, 40 years and I'm still doing it, then I know what I'm doing. So respect kind of come with the territory, but you don't want to take that for granted because that respect, that built-in respect, preconceived first impression kind of respect fades really quickly, right? You might be awe-inspiring and awesome, uh, and totally the coolest thing in their life the first week or the first 2 weeks. But if you treat them like they are beneath you, if you don't treat them well, or if you abuse this respect and you pretend you know everything while you don't, you don't talk the newbies and you act like you are uh, the most important person in the world, that respect can go away just like that, right? Then you got nothing. So to continue to build that respect or to build upon what you already have, you need to uh, establish a good rapport with newbies. Not just newbies, with everybody at work, with everybody in your organization, but especially with newbies. When they ask you for help, don't act like you're annoyed or frustrated. Don't act like they're wasting your time. Go out of your way, help them, right? Solve their problem for them because you don't know. One of these newbies may one day be your boss,
Mm.
right? Like maybe one of these newbies is so qualified. Maybe they're a little bit confused. They're just new to the organization, but they're really qualified. And maybe one day they own the organization. You don't want to be that guy who they remember when I first came here. This guy gave me a really hard time. You want them to remember you as when I first came here, I was so scared. I was so confused, and thank God this guy was here to help me. You want that. So, the quickest way of building respect, building that good rapport, is to help the newbies. Be nice to them. Be their friend. Listen to their complaints. Help them understand things. Help them get ahead. Okay? When you help someone who's new, it's one of those things that they'll almost never forget in their entire lifetime. When you help someone who's been here for a long time, like let's say you have been here for 10 years, I've been here for 10 years, I say, hey, uh, uh, can you go grab me the screwdriver and can you come fix this? And you do it. I'm not going to really remember that 10 years down the road because I'm going to think, Oh yeah, so what? He helped me. Well, I helped him a lot too. You know. So when you help someone who's around your equal station, it doesn't bring that uh, super awesome karma. When you help someone who's new, on the other hand, it's almost like I said, an entire lifelong thing. Like they'll remember you 50 years later. 50 years later, they won't even remember their boss's name. They won't even remember what exactly they were here to do, what company this was. But they'll tell their grandchildren, man, I remember when I was 20 years old, I just got out of college and went to work for this place. I don't remember what exactly that company was, but I remember there was this guy who he's been working there for 30 years, and he was so nice to me. I was so scared, but he helped me with everything. You know, this is the kind of thing that's going to bring that long lasting karma. So, uh, first and foremost, if you want to secure your position as a veteran, as a seasoned one, then build respect by helping the newbies. Helps the newbies respect you, and then your position will be a lot more secure. Not just now, but in the future, when that newbie is no longer a newbie, when that newbie either become a high-ranking member of the organization, or maybe that newbie had moved on, and you never know, they may become someone really important further down the road. So build that respect when you have already the preconceived, pre-programmed little bit of respect as your experience will bring you. The second item on our guideline is to build confidence. I see this happen to a lot of veterans, old seasoned martial artists, uh, seasoned counselors, or artists, or musicians in general. I see this happen again and again. And let me tell you guys how it usually go down. You are the coolest thing for a long time. For 10 years, 20 years, you are the coolest thing. And then suddenly someone new show up. This person is awesome. They're young, they're full of energy, they find magic in everything, they make everybody smile, everybody loves them. And in your heart, you start to feel that you can't compare to them. What do you have? They have four master's degree. What do you have? They're young, you're old, they're full of energy. You can barely get out of bed in the morning. They have muscles on top of muscles. When they're just sitting there, the muscles getting up and walking away. Yeah, okay. And you are just getting building that dad bod. What do you have to compare to compete against these guys? And as soon as you in your heart your confidence is going down, your animosity goes up. You start to don't want to talk to people. You start to be mean to people. You start to be mean, especially to that newbie. You start to don't want to do things for your company. You start to think, well, you guys love him so much, let him do it. Yeah, you start to have that attitude. Um, I don't want to do it. Let the young guy do it. He seems to know everything. He got four master's degree. Right? And then when you start doing that, pretty soon no one wants to deal with you. Pretty soon no one likes you anymore. And that's not the newbie's fault. That's your own fault. Because of your insecurity, you let that slip away from you. Right? So don't let that happen. If you want to secure your position as a top dog, as the old dog, as the king of the hill, build confidence because you have so much more that new guys doesn't have. You have experience, you have friends, you know the group dynamic, you know all the important details, who to talk to about which problem. You know how to the new guys, yes, he may have four master's degree, but you know if he's If his toilet breaks in the morning, he doesn't know who to call to solve that. If he suddenly get locked out of his house, he doesn't know how to solve that. So as a more seasoned person, uh, I assume that you know how to solve these things. So don't let that insecurity drag you down. Build confidence. And the quickest way of building confidence is to upgrade yourself. Right? You think the new guy is so much better than you are. Okay, well, don't just sit there and whine about it. Go and learn something new. People say old dogs can't learn new tricks. That's not true. Right? If you have been playing the guitar and the new guitar player is so much better than you, well, then this might be a time for you to go learn how to play the piano. Now you know how to play guitar really, really well, and you also know how to play the piano. Suddenly you offer something new. Right? If you are a good boxer, and but you're getting old, and the new boxer is just so much better than you are, yeah, maybe this is time to pick up judo. Then you can throw them around. Um, Upgrade yourself. Don't let yourself stagnate. Right? Don't just sit there and let it slip away because of your insecurity. And I want to offer a little bit of personal wisdom for you guys. When you want to upgrade yourself and when you want to learn new things, it is okay to learn from the newbies. This sound totally kind of zen. I know some people's like, oh, I don't want to. They are new. So what do they know that I don't? I don't want to learn. No, that's the wrong attitude. That person who's new might actually know more than you do. At the very least, I bet they're better on the computer than you are. At the very least, I know for sure that they probably understand pop culture a lot better than you do. So if you work in the computer industry, for example, okay, you may know more codes, you may know more about IT and servers and how to set things up, but you know what? That new guy is going to know how to make things so young people like them. You need to learn that from them. Okay, so there's no shame in learning that from them, because you know what? Think of what they have and what you have as two separate pools, right? Your pool is really big, yeah, because you've been here for a long time. You have a lot of fish in your pool. But here comes this new guy. He has a pool. His pool is smaller, but his pool has prettier fish than yours. Then what do you want to do? What you want to do is you want to go and buy a couple of his pretty fish and start breeding them. Next thing you know, you have the bigger pool and you have fish just as pretty. So it's exactly like that with knowledge. There's no shame in learning from newbies. Even for myself, when I'm working with other martial artists, no matter how new they are, if I know that they know something that I don't, for example, uh, my oldest disciple, Clement, you guys seen our sparring video before and night strike video before. Clement does a lot of Aikido. I don't know jack shit about Aikido. Uh, I understand how it works, but I really don't know much about how like the specific techniques. So when I'm working with Clement, I don't say things like a lot of other sensei or instructors or senior students. A lot of people will, oh, you can't do that. This is not Aikido. We are doing Krav Maga. No, because if you do that, then you'll never know what Aikido is about, right? So when I'm working with someone like Clement or someone else, let's say they do judo or they do wrestling, I'm going to say, okay, show me your stuff. Show me what exactly that you guys do. What do you do in this circumstance? And I want to understand it. I'm always eager to add to my tool, my tool chest, my toolbox. I'm always interested in adding a new fish to my pool. Um, so when you are a senior person, when you are an experienced person, don't think that it is beneath you to learn from the newbies. Okay? By learning from the newbies, by upgrading yourself, you'll end up building your confidence up, and you won't feel insecure in your position. So now that you build confidence and you build respect, it's time for number three, because number three basically utilize a combination of the two. Now you need to build importance. Now this is different from self-importance. Uh, it's not that you sitting there and say how important you are. That doesn't count, right? You, uh, there's a intrinsic difference. A lot of people don't understand, but there's an intrinsic difference between value
Yes.
and perceived value.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't matter how valuable is this sword you're selling. If everybody say it's crap, it's crap. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you think your music is. Everybody think it's crap, it's crap. And not going to sell. It doesn't matter how good you think your martial art is. If you get your butt kicked every time, then you get your butt kicked. So value and perceived value are very, very different. Um, and a lot of time it changes, especially perceived value. So this is directly linked to importance. How important are you really? Now, if you just sit there as if you're the vice president of blah 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 and you don't do anything, then you might not be as important as you think you are because you're not doing anything. But on the other hand, if you are the vice president of blah blah blah, and every day you go out of your way to do market research. You go out of your way to make sure you talk to all the newbies. You go out of your way to attend training sessions, to help out a training session, to volunteer at work events, to stay late, to help clean up, to make sure that everyone's voice is heard. Then you are very, very important. Even if you are not the vice president, you are still very important. So the key to build importance is to get off of your high horses and stop feeling sorry for yourself because of a newbie came into the organization. This is not a time to give up. This is not a time to say, "Oh God, I can't compete with that. I don't. No, what's the point? I'll just not do it anymore." No, if you do that, then you will fade into the woodwork. You really will get forgotten, like yesterday's news, because life is a continuous progression, as Kitten often say. If you're not going forward, then you're going back. And if you don't go forward, then very quickly you will go back. So uh, build your importance. Get involved. Get involved. Like we already discussed. Talk to the newbies. Be nice to the newbies. Work harder, and really get started to upgrade yourself and then apply yourself to your workplace. If you are used to putting in 50% effort because you've been here for 20 years, now is the time to ramp it back up to 100%. Okay? Fight newbie with newbie. Newbies have all the energies. Now you need to bring all the energies to that. Okay? Fight newbie with newbie. You got to fight enthusiasm with enthusiasm. They are enthusiastic. You are even more enthusiastic. Let's go. Okay? Uh, build your importance. Don't let people forget about you, and don't let yourself to be forgotten. Last but not least, and in some ways this is the most important, uh, build your loyalty point. Loyalty point is that thing where your boss recognize you, you're loyal to the organization. And how you accomplish this one is by constantly reminding your superior, your manager, your boss, how long you have been here and how much you have done together with them. Now, you got to be very subtle about this. So don't start going to your boss. Hey, boss, remember me? Remember me? I've been here for 20 years. Hey, remember me? I've been here. Remember that time when you didn't have money for lunch and I lent you money? This is not the time to do that. Okay? Don't be so uh in your face about it. And don't start sucking up to your boss in front of the newbies. Like a lot of people, they are not very tactful. So some of the experienced people, they'll, in front of the newbies, they'll say, "Oh, no, 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 the co-boss, hey, bro, hey, these newbies, yeah, yeah, well, we got to work with them. It's so I know how difficult it is, dude." And like when you start doing that in front of the newbies, yeah, you might get some loyalty point with your boss, but you're killing the respect newbies have for you, because suddenly you look like a suck up. So this whole loyalty point thing, it sounds simple. Just remind them how long you've been here, how much you have done, but you have to be very, very subtle, very tactful about it. Uh, for example, this there's this one friend that I had who had a very good system of doing this. He would sometimes invite his boss out for dinner or just to go out for a beer after work. And during when they were drinking, and when people are drinking, they're much more relaxed. And he's going to choose when they're drinking, and he's going to bring up, "Hey, boss, you remember that you remember Wilson that worked? Remember when we first started the company? Just you, me, and Wilson. You remember Wilson? Apparently he's married now. I hope he's doing well." He's going to bring something like that up. He's going to use an emotional connection. And of course, at this time, the boss is relaxed and the boss, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I remember Wilson. Wasn't he the guy that was always dropping the screwdriver or always getting locked in the bathroom?" And then so you carry on the conversation this way. It's natural. It struck that nostalgia, talking about the past, and you struck that chord, and you are subtle about it. So you're not saying to your boss, "And remember how long I've been here?" But in your conversation, you're already saying, "Hey, remember when the company first started? It's you and me and Wilson, and yeah, Wilson was such a cool guy." You're not talking about yourself, you're talking about Wilson, but at the same time, you are letting your boss know that, "Hey, I remember the good old days. I remember the good time." Right? So this is there's so many ways of doing that. I don't need to list all of them for you guys, but this is just a way of saying be subtle. Okay, be smart about it. Don't do it in front of everybody. Don't be a suck up. Trying to find time, appropriate time, and find a roundabout way to bring this up. Okay, and sometimes it can be, when you're reporting to your boss and that's about one of the new person did, and you can just throw this in. "Well, so and so. Oh man, they totally messed up today. But I think we should remember they're really new. Remember when I was new 20 years ago, I was exactly like that. I made that same mistake." Yeah, this is like very diplomatic, right? You got to throw these little hints in regularly to keep topping up on your loyalty point, because when newbies come in, they are flashy, they are new, they are interesting. Your boss will pay more attention to them. And if you don't keep on the ball, your boss will forget about you. And you don't want your boss to forget about you. Uh, so, just to recap, we have um, Let me quickly check my battery. I think I just heard low battery. Good. It's still recording, even though we're down to 10% battery. So let's wrap this up. To recap quickly, the four survival tips for old dogs, for veterans, is to build respect, to build confidence, to build importance, and last but not least, to keep building up on that loyalty point. I hope this helps someone out, and I hope this has been interesting. We'll be back again tomorrow for tactical, tactical Tuesday. I can't even talk now. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.